Hi, I am Teresa Tomey,
And I'm Patrick Ziegler,
and we are,
Fubble Entertainment.
and this is,
Fubble time.
look at that. Boy, we've got that worked out to a science.
Yeah. Well, we should by this time.
I know. I don't know what show this is of ours. This is like our 8th show or 7th. Do you have any idea?
It's more than that.
We've been doing
We did it first by ourselves. Fred Sabos.
right a couple times.
I can't name them all off. Danny, Stan.
Well, don't do that. That'll heck out of people.
Hi, everybody. Mary Rad posted earlier, so that's so sweet. And
oh, great. Nice.
yeah.
Well, we are delighted to have you with us tonight because we have an amazing woman. I mean, she is ridiculously fierce. And I am.
Yes.
I mean, like, what are the adjectives? Fierce is certainly a dominant one for sure.
Fierce, huge heart, generous. I can say a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm just
talented and artist.
Well, let me give you some specifics on her. She was born in the Midwest, in Chicagoland area, not Chicago itself, but raised just out of Chicago. She has been in the beauty industry, doing hair and makeup for 30 plus years, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
She taught, she's been a teacher of artistry. And I'm going to say that, I love that, in cosmetology schools and salons for 12 years. And then she made this decision to go to Los Angeles and pursue hair and makeup there. And then she took a turn, and we're going to get into that.
Yes.
Bring her forward. So I'm not going to read the whole bio because her story is really fun and interesting. And we want her to tell it. So without further ado, we would like to welcome Linda Michaels to Fubble.
Yay! Hooray for Hollywood! Hi, Linda. Yay!
What do you call your followers? Are they Fubblers?
Fubble, yeah, Fubblers. I like Fubblers.
Fubblers works. We do have one follower we call the Fubble hater.
Oh. Well, I hope they're on today.
I hope they are too. Because, well, now that we're on YouTube, we have one person. Like there was a while there when we just kept posting videos on YouTube, and we'd always get one thumbs down. So
like right away.
Immediately, like as soon as we posted it, oh, there's the Fubble hater. So we do have one Fubble hater, but the Fubblers are out there, and we love them.
Very good.
Yeah. So Linda, so thrilling to have you on Fubble Time. And Linda and I have quite a long history now. My gosh, we go back to Chicago, to the Chicago Center for Spiritual Living, then Bodhi, and then Mark and I picked up and decided to move to Los Angeles right at the same time Linda was thinking about doing it, and she went, I'm doing it too. And it was 2015, right? That's when you moved out there?
Yeah.
We moved out there, and then we went back to Chicago, and you stayed, and you've been doing amazing, amazing things. I'm just like so happy for you, and just how much you love Los Angeles. You're a Midwestern gal at heart with a Hollywood flair.
Yep, exactly.
And so, I know a lot about your life and, where you get, what your interests are, but where did the whole makeup artistry come from? Where did that arise in you?
Like going into the Wayback Machine. And before you go too far in the Wayback Machine, because this person goes to the Wayback Machine with you too. Anthony Lord did surface and said, I love Linda. She made cotton candy.
Oh, yeah.
That means, but I'm sure it's exciting.
We can maybe show a picture of that later. I might have my phone right here.
We have to show that later. Oh my gosh.
Of course. I will absolutely.
Or now, if you have it, whenever you have it.
I do.
It's part of your artistry.
Well, okay, so I just always liked makeup, and it started honestly like before high school. I would just be the one to do my friend's makeup, and I was just that girl, So it always just went that way. And then in high school, I would do all the plays, and I would do all that, and I always wanted to act in the plays, but I was more into the makeup part, and I was on all the crews, and I just always liked that whole bringing things to life. And makeup was always just fun to me. And to be quite honest, after high school, it was like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. My sister has her PhD in organic chemistry, so she was on that like college track. And then I went to high school and I graduated, and my parents were like, "What are you going to do?" And I was like, I guess I'll go to beauty school. And, you know, thank God, because I got my license way back then, like 1988, and I have kept it ever since and kept in the industry to different levels ever since. I worked in spas and salons and did facials and aesthetics and makeup for many years. And then I worked for a company that I got to train in salons and spas for makeup and skincare. And I went to Italy a couple times for that. And it really did bring me all over the world. And then I started teaching in Chicago at a school and just loved it. Just really started to focus more on just strictly makeup. And life changes happened. I was taking care of my mom and she passed away. And I thought, well, I can live anywhere. I can go do whatever I want to do and be wherever I want to be. And it was either going to be Los Angeles or Hawaii. I had a cousin. Yes, I had a cousin in Hawaii, and I thought, I'm going to go live in Hawaii. And then my cousin sent me a picture of orange juice, and it was like $14.99 for a quart. And I was like, maybe not Hawaii.
So you picked another cheap city, Los Angeles.
Oh, I did. I picked another cheap city. Absolutely. And, you know, I came out to Los Angeles. I moved, as you said, with Mark and Patrick. And it was just so lovely because I knew I was going to come anyway. And then the fact that it just happened, the stars aligned that they were going to do the same thing was really quite a miracle for me because I didn't have to start off my time here alone. And so actually, look, here's a picture of us on New Year's Eve.
Move it over a little bit.
Hold on.
The other way.
We're trying to get it not to glare.
Oh, is that the one in front of Bob's Big Boy? Up.
No.
Up. Right there.
Go.
Oh no, that's our first New Year's Eve there. Oh yeah.
I moved to Los Angeles on December 31st because I wanted it to be very symbolic of like I'm starting a new year, 2015, January 1st, in my new place. So that was very important to me. And then from there, we had lots of fun, right? Until you guys decided to leave, but it was really cool. I knew that when I stepped off the plane and I knew I was home for some reason. I don't know anybody here. I was like, oh, I was looking at comments. Sorry, I can't.
I know Mark must be seeing another because Stefan is here. So he must be in another trail.
Oh my God.
Isn't that fun? That's a Bodhi person.
I love everything about Los Angeles, and I knew I was home, and having you guys there for a little while really was helpful in the beginning. And so I started my journey. I started my journey to do makeup and hair and to get to be a part of the union. And that was really my whole focus was I'm going to do makeup. And I started to meet people and I started to make friends with other makeup artists. And I mean, now it's really true that I know the person who won the Oscar for makeup this year. She's a friend of mine. You know what I mean? So I've made the networking possible. And through that, I've just met incredible people. And I am not in the union. I don't know if that's not really my choice anymore. I still do makeup. I work on $1 Million Listing, which just premiered last night.
I know. Mark had it recorded, and I go, "Hey, did you know that Linda did makeup for that?" And he goes, "Yes." I didn't even know until you posted that.
You know what I'm going to do though, Linda, I'm going to back you up just a second because I am curious. Because we did some work with you. You did some work with Fubble before you went to Los Angeles.
That's right.
You like when did you said you worked on high school productions and you worked on but when did you actually make the transition from like spa work or whatever and doing makeup? I guess maybe that career was always like in photography and stuff like that. I don't know. Like when did you move to set makeup? You
know, that's a really good question. I'm not exactly sure like when it was in me, but I definitely decided at one point that I didn't want to be in the salon all the time. So maybe just that decision kind of put it out there. And then people who I met, I'm a creative person, so I meet creative people like Patrick and like you. And then from that just grew. And so I just kept up on my skills and learning. And then once I actually taught makeup, I learned so much more. Like you learn so much more from people, you know? And so from then it just kind of it was more of a smooth transition. Coming to LA though, I thought like naively that I've been doing makeup for, 25 plus years at that point. They're going to be knocking down my door for my skills. not the case. It's about
Really? You mean
Yeah.
it was hard when you got there? I can't
it's like it's at first it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And I
Totally.
didn't know people at first. And then it does become about what you know. That definitely I know some very talented makeup artists, but it's really about, a lot of things about who you can meet. And that's how I started on $1 Million Listing, because one of my friends, she couldn't do the job. And so then I got the job, and then they asked me back. And it's kind of like code with your other makeup artist friends, like, is it okay if I take this job again? And she gave it to me. And so I'm grateful to have had that for the 4 seasons now. This is the 4th season. So my friend Julie commented, yeah. Julie, I love you.
She was your teacher. You were her makeup teacher?
Julie actually was a teacher with me at the school.
Okay.
She taught hair, and she's a fantastic hairdresser. And now I believe she's at Ulta working with them, and just amazing art and heart within her. And I was lucky enough to be at a school where all I taught was makeup. So everybody else got to do the hair, and I just taught the makeup. So I really got to focus on it. And actually, I know there's 4 students out here in California who we've connected, and I kind of help them find their way around out here.
That's quite a community, that makeup community. I mean, what a gift for you, Mark and Patrick.
Yep. There's your friends.
My friends Bixby and Lally.
Yes, we've been talking about the joys of doing at-home shows. So,
that's good.
I was just going to say about transitioning. It's like now I'm to the point that, like right now, I have a couple of projects that people have searched me out now because of connections. And now I get to, at first you got to just take whatever you can get to get your name out there. Now I'm like, do I want to be doing in the desert overnight with scorpions in a tent? Maybe not, I'll leave it to the youngins, and that's what's occurring now. So
before we go to the next question, Teresa, I just have a quick, because you said something, it's so much about relationships. And where do you think, how did you start getting involved in the makeup world in Los Angeles? Like what was your first thing that you did? Because I always find it so interesting, being a producer, writer, actor at some points. I was always like, where did they, and nobody has a perfect formula, but I always find it helpful to hear that from people.
The first thing I did, actually, I completely remember, the first thing I did was I found a networking group called the Hair and Makeup Artists Network. And I saw it, and somehow it came to me, and I went to that, and that's really what started it all. That's nice. I know people from that I still know, and that definitely that was my trajectory for the first meeting of people. And then I just kept trying to meet people. I kept taking whatever jobs I could for free. I kept just hustling and being like, I'll do that movie, I'll do that thing. And when I say overnight in the desert in a tent with scorpions, that was my first job. So.
And somebody just commented about that.
Yes, Gail knows. That's my cohort there, Miss Gail.
I remember the scorpion story.
I do too.
The scorpions, we were filming overnight, and we went home to a house that we were all in, like a dorm house. And I went to go to the bathroom, and there was a huge scorpion, like as big as my hand. And I was like this, I'm from Chicago. I don't know anything about scorpions. Okay. And it scurried in the hallway to a closet. And so the producers were just like, just go to sleep. It's fine. And I was like, no. So they put a case of Coke in front of the closet on the floor, and they're like, it won't get out. We'll take care of it later. And I was like, have you seen Jurassic Park? Nature finds a way. Okay. I want that. I'm not going to walk around with bare feet. And they did. They picked up the case of Coke, and scorpions can flatten themselves and get underneath stuff. And I was terrified. And so they did remove the scorpion. But
I'm sure you had a restful night of sleep.
Oh, it was horrible. Hey, I want to show you guys cotton candy while we're here.
There it is.
Oh, there you go.
That's Mark Anthony Lord, and you're amazing. I remember when you first they texted it to me, and I was like, that's LaToya Jackson. So I thought it was at first. I couldn't believe it.
That was so good, definitely. But yeah, my first gig was paid very little. I think they offered me $25 a day.
Nice.
And there was scorpions, and there was, it was low budget. But you know what? I respect anybody out here. Now I know the deal. Now I know to actually get something made is a big deal.
Yeah.
So whether, and it was a great experience, and I still have friends from that. In fact, one of the girls I worked with on that is one of the projects I have coming up in August for makeup. So you just got to keep those connections, and you got to keep the people around you who are good people, and keep going with it.
Showing up.
Yeah. So since you asked a question, Patrick, I'm going to jump on the next question then, because then I'm curious, Linda, did you have, because your life shifted a little bit when you got out there. So did you have were you all in on makeup goals, or did you say I want to do makeup when you went out to LA?
When I first came out here, I was all in on makeup. My goal was to get into the union and do that. And then one time I was in a little short movie, because what I also find out about shorts is that low budget productions is that they need people to be in them because they don't want to hire actors. So they were like, hey, makeup, come here. We need you to do this. And I did a little part, and I was like, ooh, I like it. And then the short was shown in a theater, and people were like, oh my God, you were so good. And I was like, what? Stop. And I guess something I realized, which is really like profound to me, is that I always liked acting. I always wanted to act. In high school. I tried out for every play, and I was in one. I was always active. I was president of the Thespians. So I don't know if you guys knew that, but I
did know that, because didn't Mickey hand you the baton or something like that?
Did, yes. My very good friend, Mickey Maxwell, was president before me. I was always involved in theater, but at that time, like 30 years ago or 10 years ago, 30 years ago, I was always the big girl. So I wasn't Sandy. I wasn't going to be Sandy in Grease. I wasn't going to be those things. So it kind of made me think, well, I can't be an actor. And at that time, it was all a certain type of actor. It was all the Barbie doll actors. So in my mind, that put that dream away. And then once I came out here to LA, I saw and I realized that every size, shape, color, age, sexual orientation, you name it, is acting, because that's life. That's part of life. So it really made me realize that this is something I wanted to pursue. So I started to train and get real acting training, which I'm still doing. And that it just opened up something in me like, oh, this is what I want to do. And I thought about it, like, why do I want to do this? And the reason is because when I first came out here, I also did stand-up comedy.
That was going to be one of our questions.
Yeah.
I did stand-up comedy, but the reason I did stand-up comedy is because I didn't know anybody. So I was like, well, I'll meet people. If I'm going to meet people, I want to meet funny people. And so I did stand-up comedy, and that opened up a world of like affecting people with laughter, which is like the best high you could possibly have.
Well, you took, I was going to say, one of the things you did is you took my improv class at
yes.
Bodie, and you were fantastic.
Of course. I took the artist way with Patrick. I took improv with Patrick as well. And I took improv actually out here at Second City. And there's a way that you affect people with laughter that is such a joy. It's pure. And so I loved that so much. And then I realized with acting that you can affect people with joy, and you can affect people with sadness and drama. And it's all the same feeling inside to affect life, with people. So that study is just like, it's my heart now. And so I'm definitely made a little switch, and I'm gearing towards more acting, even though I still love my makeup, because it's a talent that I have within me, and I know what to do. I have the power, and the thing about makeup now is I think that a lot of, it's kind of like, if you have a lipstick and an Instagram account, then you're a makeup artist. Just like people, if they have an iPhone, they're a photographer, So I like to think that I have more skills than the average like Instagrammer, and I appreciate that. So I still keep my makeup because I do enjoy it. But the acting is like a whole nother ballgame of learning and becoming yourself and becoming other people. So.
Go ahead, Tristan.
No, I thought you were going to ask a question, but I will if you're not.
Well, she kind of went through our next the stand-up and all of that. So yeah, go to the next one. Or whatever you have.
Well, I mean, first of all, it struck me as a couple things. I mean, I think I met somebody who had first come out to Los Angeles, and they said to me, how do I get my feet in? And I said, take a class. That's the way you're going to meet people. Just like you do build that networking community so much. So you talk about now some of the experience. I mean, you went from, hey, makeup lady, get over here, sit down, get on camera, Like, what have you actually done in front of camera now?
Okay, so the first kind of like big thing I did, and I didn't, it's so funny because everything that I've done, I haven't realized it until after, like what a big deal it was. It's because it's not a big deal, but I mean, it's all make believe anyway. But I got to be in this Star Wars short movie, and it's a fan fiction movie, but it's done really well by people who are they have to be the top Star Wars fans I've ever seen in my life. They are dedicated. And they also are people who work within the industry as directors and also special effects artists. The guy who directed it, Tim Martin, actually, he worked on Guardians of the Galaxies and The Mandalorian. So he's a legit Star Wars special effects artist. And it was his dream to have this picture done. So Star Wars Birth of a Monster was one that I was in, and that experience was amazing. I got to play like this horrible mother to this kid, and I actually threatened to eat him. I don't. And you know, it's funny, that kid was so afraid of me on set. He never came by me.
I wonder why.
I can't imagine, right? So that was like my first taste of like, wow, this is really cool. And I got to be mean and angry and have cool costumes. And I was just like, yes. And
where can people see that? Because they can
actually it's on YouTube. It's called Star Wars Birth of a Monster. And what I learned is that anybody can make a fan fiction movie, and you can use all of the Star Wars characters, names, everything. You just can't make money off of it. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, I thought that was really strange because I thought I didn't understand the way it works out here, but now I do. That they do that so they can always do the next thing and the next thing, you know. And so you can use George Lucas. You can use any character, any name, any, you know. And what these people who are the fanatics of Star Wars do is pick pieces of the story that they feel were missing. And so,
Star Wars Birth of a Monster, is that
and you do have a Fubbler who said it was so good too.
Oh, thank you, whoever said that, because you know what, it is good.
Oh, it's our dear friend Mickey Maxwell.
Oh,
hey,
you know what, Mickey went to the premiere with me, and you know what, it is a well done fan fiction movie. It really, and what I realized about that fan fiction world is it stems from something as good as what I was in to something like two people with like tinfoil lightsabers. You know what I mean? So there's a range within the Star Wars world of what people accept. And I mean, it was an amazing experience with professional people. And then, you know, other things, I got to do some stuff on baskets and meet Louis Anderson, which was just like, and Zach Galifianakis. That was great. It was just a tiny, small thing. But you know what? I got to be there. I got to sit in the trailer getting my hair done next to Zach Galifianakis. So
those moments are amazing. And I think people that, you know, we obviously got to work with the wonderful Betty White, and I will never forget her talking about something was going on in the industry where somebody was just not appreciating what they had. And she was very frustrated, as much as Betty White can show, because she's the nicest person on the planet. But she just was talking about that there's so many people that don't appreciate when there's so many people out there that want to appreciate those moments. And I think that's always been mine and Teresa's thing. It's like, we just get so excited and we appreciate. And I see that in you, Linda. And I think that's just such a wonderful quality and a wonderful thing that is going to keep on happening for you. Every
time I'm on set, I appreciate it. I got to be on the set of Mixed-ish when it was a prequel. It's a prequel to Blackish, and nobody knew what the name was going to be. Nobody knew what was going to happen. And I got to meet Kenya Barris, and I was so like in awe of everything happening, you know, and I just was like, okay, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. Even though, again, it's a small little part, I was like, this is amazing. The best day ever.
You know what I mean, you see what you are ticking off the boxes. You're doing the work. You're showing up to your work. And I know it's not easy. We're friends. We talk. I know it's not easy. But you still put that one foot in front of the other. And it's, you know, it is a journey to try to get to where you want to go. So where do you want to go? Like, what's the...
You know what? I want to become a better actor.
Charlene, sorry.
What?
Charlene.
Charlene, thanks for showing up, doll.
I want to study more. And actually, I just joined a class that's like an everyday study online thing. And then we're going to check in like twice a week with an acting studio. And should I say it or no? Do I not say it?
Of course you can. We don't have any sponsors.
I don't know. I can't. What can I say? Like, oh my God, here's Pearl Mitchell, Nike. No, I don't know. Anyway,
Oh my God, I love that.
Video.
Thank you for that.
Walgreens.
I have those. Those are awesome, cool packs.
Walgreens.
Yeah. All right. The studio I go to is called Claybank Studio International, and he's got an online course called ACT. And it just started this week. And for me, what I want to do is I want to, like I said, I want to affect people through drama or comedy or what I can do as a part of a whole. I want to affect people that way. And I want it to be caught on film. That's what I want to do.
And do you think, I'm sorry, Patrick, were you going to ask something?
No, I just said nice.
And if you don't feel comfortable answering this, how does that relate to your spiritual life? Because you are a spiritual person.
Yeah, you know what? And that's why I say it like that, because I think that meeting a lot of actors out here in LA, when I ask people what they want to do, what they say is, I just want to be on a show. I just want to work. I just want to work. And it's like, well, of course you do, but how do you want to work? How do you want to be? So for me, the spiritual aspect is crucial because for me, spirituality is lining up with what your truth is. And that's your place, right? So if you can line up with what your truth is, then other things can come into play that maybe weren't there before. So everything is a spiritual lesson, and especially being parts that are different people, to be like, okay, how does this affect that? And then if somebody sees me do something, how will it affect them in the long run is part of that spirit thing. And I also think that spirit wants us to play, and acting is play. Hi, LaToya. That's actually one of my Paul Mitchell, or cosmetology school, Paul Mitchell people.
And then we have this one.
And my aunt. That's my aunt.
Oh, that's your aunt? Oh.
I'm sorry. That's a random person.
No, I love that your aunt is on here. Is that your mother?
That's my father's sister.
Okay.
And that's a picture of my cousin and her granddaughter, actually. So.
And we have our friend Jeannie. Yay. Hi, Jeannie. She's almost been on every...
she's a Fubble fan. She's great.
And then Mark Anthony Lord says, must have yes.
I must have had some really good spiritual teachers, absolutely. And I just wanted to finish up on that subject. I want to be to inspire people to inspire themselves. And I think that's what spirit gives to me, to try to help other people do the best that they can do. And if I can do that for like one person, then I'm happy, and if I could do it for more, that's even better. Yeah,
that's beautiful. I was thinking when Mickey popped in, Mickey's the reason that we met. He told you to come to CSL, didn't he?
Oh, well, because I went to Agape out here.
Yeah.
That's how I first got in touch with that whole kind of like Centers for Spiritual Living and Mr. Anthony Lord, the Reverend, yes.
And Mickey's in the biz as well, and could be a guest as well.
I know, I'm like, we should talk to Mickey someday. Yeah.
We absolutely should, because Mickey is definitely somebody who takes the craft of acting very seriously, and it's part of him. And I learn from him. Totally. Every time I have an audition, every time I do anything, I've learned so much from him. And the number one thing I think I've learned from him, he's like, when you do an audition, let it go.
Yep.
Because I have literally auditioned for a makeup artist named Linda from Chicago, who's around 45 to 50, and I didn't get it.
Well, that's too old.
Yeah. So Mickey's just like, whatever you do, you leave it there, so he's definitely on your list, I'm sure.
I appreciate what you say about, how you what you want to put out. And Teresa and I have been very much about that. And we really try to make our set, that energy as well when we are in production, but also when we're looking at projects, we are really, I just watched the special on Gary Marshall, and he said he wanted to do recessed television, where it was just, you always wanted to go out for recess. Recess was fun. And I think, we definitely have some projects that have some substance to them, but at the same time, there's a lightheartedness, and we want to put that out to the world more. Yeah. And it sounds like that's some of the stuff that you do, other than you want to eat a child. And
let's just say I was acting. I do not condone the eating of children.
There you go.
Unless they're kind of bad sometimes, whatever. But I definitely want to do that. I kind of want it all. I want to do a project that means more to the world. And I also want to make people laugh at stupid shit.
Totally.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I want all that.
And we want you to make a boatload of money doing it so you can buy us things.
Yeah, I absolutely want to make a boatload doing it, and I can't wait for a project, something about Christmas where I'm like a girl, and I don't know, cosmetic girl.
Linda wrote her own role in our movie, The Santa Hat, so we have to get it manifested so Linda can play her role, and for many reasons. One last thing, because we do have to wrap up, but I'm just curious, we're all in this strange, crazy time, and just how you're, I know that you did one project that you, which was all very like sanitary, and you had to wear a mask and all that kind of stuff. And just how are you, especially with makeup, you said you have to sanitize all your things, and how is it for you right now?
It's a new world as far as makeup goes, for sure. And then as far with acting, you can't wear a mask. You know what I mean? Right. So that there's distancing. With makeup, it's a mask, it's a shield, it's gloves, and then spray sanitizer. And I have everything that I can possibly have for makeup outside of having like an autoclave that a surgeon would use to sterilize instruments. Wow. I have all that. And there's different certifications that are out now for makeup artists and hairstylists about how to, there's one for sanitation from Barbicide, which is like, everybody knows when you go to the salon, there's like that blue liquid, that's Barbicide. It's been around for 90 years, and they have a certification course. There's another certification course by some of the guild, the IATSE guild. And so taking those classes and just making sure that extra time's in the budget is what we got to do right now. So you have to do it. That's great. I mean, that's great that they're finding ways to ease into it, and they're taking those procedures. We have a nice, love this show, Beth Williams. Beth Williams is from Unity, Linda. You would love her. Awesome. She's wonderful. Anything else, Teresa?
I think, I think we're at our 32. So I just want to say how delighted I am. You are such an inspiration, Linda. Watching your journey has just been it's been so fun, and I just hope that you just soar. And once we get past all this COVID craziness, and I look forward to just seeing where the adventure goes, and hopefully we'll be able to check in with you again and hear some new stuff. You've got other projects that you're still are happening out there for you. So I'm excited.
And we always say if you have a foundation or a nonprofit that people can donate to. Yours is Make-A-Wish Foundation, and people can give at wish.org. We're just doing that through our whole Fubble time, as if people want to give anywhere that they need. So that's Linda's Make-A-Wish. And you give to them every month, you said, right? I do, just to get it automatically taken out, just because I feel like I don't know, that just is one that touches my heart. So yeah. Well, thank you, dear Linda. This was so much fun.
It was so great. I'm so glad. It was so great. And it was very fun because Linda did send us a photo of a check stub this week from Fubble Entertainment. So it was exciting to remember those days. We'll get you back on set, but we'll put you in front of the camera next time. And I hope we can have this interview someday in a set in the same room. Oh my gosh. Amen to that, sister. When we're talking about my new feature movie coming out. Yes. Anything is possible. Really. Yeah. Anything is possible. And if you just keep on holding that vision, and I that's amazing that you do. So, and you have proof of it, and that you have to appreciate every little step. And I love that you do. We have a couple comments. Mark, yay. And yay, Linda. Oh, my friend Maggie. Yeah, thank you. Yes. Thanks for tuning in, people. Thank you. Very fun. Linda, we'll take you out and we'll do our goodbyes. And thank you for being here. Don't run away. Stay in the green room. Stay in the green room, Linda. Okay. Well, that was fun. I love her. Oh my gosh. Good. So good. Thank you so much for staying with us. Thank you for watching. Just what great messages all the way around, especially for people looking to get into the business. Just really, really solid stuff. It really is. I think each conversation just, has a different, unique perspective. And it was fun to talk to Joey about his, journey, and now Linda with hers. And it's all about the journey. Yeah. I mean, the destinations at times are good. Hey, guess what? The anniversary was this weekend for us. I got nothing. 8 years ago,
we won our Emmy for backstage drama.
Oh, that's exciting.
Isn't that fun?
That's great.
And I just have to throw out that Teresa's such a trooper because she's dealing with a torn tendon ligament on that she just did, and so she's in a little bit of pain. And she showed up tonight. So glad.
Brought to you by Walgreens.
So thanks everybody for showing up, and we'll be back next Wednesday. If I won't even say it.
You will. We will be back with us next Wednesday. Thank you so much, and we gotta get
out of here. Bye, everybody. Gotta go.